Bang.
Hello everyone, this is Joe the Orange, and today we're going to be talking about the musket. This went from one of my least favourite weapons to one of my favourite weapons, mainly because when I first started playing it, I was a bit pissed off. Can't kill troops, can't kill castle gates, can't kill enemy siege equipment, etc. But it makes up for it by being one of the greatest weapons when it comes to killing heroes. Also, in the CBT, we did have access to the Black Power Grenade at level 3, and that shit was really good at killing troops, and I'm missing that at the moment. That's a long ways off. So yeah, when I picked up this weapon in open beta, I was there going, where the fuck is my awesome grenade that blows shit up? I don't have it, and that ticked me off a bit, but now that I'm used to not having that, I'm loving this weapon. With that said, let's jump into the skills for the musket. Starting off with scatter shot. Now this does a lot of damage if you're close to the enemy. The further away you are, the less effective it is. It's actually really shit at long distances. But if you have an enemy standing right on top of you, all those pellets just go straight into them, killing them pretty damn quickly. Its cooldown is amazingly low at 6 seconds. This will get you lots of assists and kills. In my opinion, it's a must-have. 6-second cooldown, shoots out a bunch of pellets, doing a massive amount of damage. How can you say no to that? Next up we have fine gunpowder, and it really is fucking fine. It increases your damage by 15% for 6 seconds, but that's not the best thing about this ability. It also automatically reloads your gun. And when your musket's hitting from 4k to 5k a hit, this thing really racks up the numbers. You could pop someone in 1 second for 8 to 10k damage. That shit is insane. Once again, I recommend you pick up this ability. I'm not leaving you much options here. You don't have to take my recommendations, but the first 2 skills you can get on the musket, holy shit are they good. With that said, let's move on to the trash options. I mean the other options you can go on the musket. Here we have close combat. It's not a bad option. 10-second cooldown, knocks the enemy on their ass. It's actually pretty powerful. On any other weapon I would probably go it. But when I play the musket, I find shooting them in the face works just as good as knocking them over. Because your shots do stagger the enemy, so you have a bit of CC just with your auto attacks. Having said that, it's not a bad third skill to have. I haven't gone it, but man, I should probably try it out. The reason I haven't tried it out is because of this skill. It's so damn good. It does have a long cooldown, but it will save your ass. Anytime you're in trouble, pop this, you're out of trouble. You slowed them down, you're a mile away. It's the ultimate escape ability, leaving those caltrops on your enemy so they can't chase you down very well, they'll be slowed. And it puts a long distance between you and the enemy. With that said, let's move on to the next skill, which is liquid fire. It's on a very long cooldown, doesn't do that much damage, but what it is useful at is stopping enemy charges. If you want to protect your range, this can be a good option. Also, it's very good at pissing off people trying to heal, or should I say bandage, behind a shield wall. You can just lob it straight over. Next up we have throw caltrops. Now this is stronger than the skirmisher caltrops you do get. It also has a slightly smaller cooldown than skirmisher, and you can throw it at people trying to run away to slow them down. But you don't get the roll backwards. This one's more offensive, while skirmisher is more defensive. As for the ultimates, I did enjoy black powder grenades in the closed beta, but you started off with the highest tier 1 level 3, which was powerful enough to kill most ranged units. Now that it takes about 10 years to level these ultimates up, I'm not sure if it's the best choice. The reason I say that is because I used to love the longbow explosive arrow as well, one of their ultimates that's similar to this, and I unlocked the first tier 1, and it was fucking horrible. It was nothing like I remembered it. And that might be a similar thing that happens with the black powder grenade. Last but not least, we have 5 rounds rapid, and what this does, it shoots 5 rounds rapidly. So it's all in the name, you know what it does, it shoots 5 rounds, it's pretty cool, not the greatest ultimate in the world, but it's cool. I'll probably go this one instead of black powder grenade, only because of the letdown of explosive arrow. What a piece of shit that was. But let's move into some gameplay. And to kick this one off, we've got a brutal pike charge. I'm just shooting randomly. My pikes are doing all the work, going in there and racking up some good numbers. The charge went very well, but then I got greedy. I sent them in too deep and they got butchered. One thing to know about the 3-star pikes, after they've finished their charge, they are very vulnerable to basically everything. Also in this video, there's lots of examples of how to use aim assist. Aim assist is an option in the game that doesn't actually affect where your bullet goes, but what it does, as you can see, I'm behind all these shields, but I can see the enemy. A red circle will pop up. Here we go. If your aim is within that red circle, it's most likely going to hit an enemy player. Of course, if there's enemies in the way, it won't, and the reason I like it is because when there's so much chaos going on, it's hard to identify the enemy sometimes. At least if you are me. If you're a bit retarded, should I say. But seriously, if there's so much chaos going on, you can't identify the enemy, which happens a lot in this battle. You can use that aim assist. Oh, there's a red circle, boom. Red circle, boom, and just repeat that process. Now let's fast forward a bit. I'm just going to go grab another unit. Here our team starts pushing the enemy, trying to go for that last cap point, and I attempt a halberd charge, nowhere near as effective as the pikes when it comes to charging, but they have their own speciality. I have plenty of footage of that. It's a fucking really powerful unit, just not in that scenario. I wasted them, because like I said earlier, I'm a bit retarded. And now all our range is getting charged down by the cav, and that's when you want halberds up, to stop stuff like that. So once again, it's time to go get another unit. And you always want some troops with you, especially when you are playing the musket. You need something to act as cannon fodder, something to soak up any hits coming your way. And of course, it's best that it's your unit getting used as cannon fodder, because when you try to use your allies' units, they don't obey your orders. They're all over the place doing their own shit. As you can see, every time before I shoot, I try to make sure that red circle has popped up. There's also an orange circle, and what that one means is usually a distance thing. They're too far away, and you won't hit for as much. When you are using the musket weapon, the closer you are to your opponents, the more damage output you will have. So keep that in mind. Now I do jack shit for a long time. I just let my muskets shoot, so let's fast forward. Alright, so we're back into it. Both teams have lost most of their troops. There's not much left on the board but spears and range. More spears, more range, and I've got nothing. My muskets died to a volley of arrows, but it's all good. I've still got my own, and it gets the job done. One thing to remember about the muskets, if you are using that fine powder, double tap when you can. It increases your chance of hitting and killing the enemy. As you can see, I missed my first shot, but since I had fine powder, I could put another one in the chamber and send that down the barrel. Now that I'm on low health and don't have much vision because I'm behind the shields, it doesn't mean I should stop shooting. Just look for those red circles and blast away. We get rather lucky this game. For some reason, the enemy refuses to push their troops up, and we end up capping them out. It was a very exciting first half, a very boring second half. That's what happens when there's only spears and range left on the battlefield. But let's get back to talking about the muskets. My final thoughts on it: it's a great weapon, mostly designed to kill heroes, not troops. Unless you have that black powder grenade up to level 3. Your troop killing power is very low. Attribute wise, I just went full agility to get as much penetrating damage as I possibly could. When it comes to the skills, my favourite combo was fine powder, scatter shot, and skirmisher. It gave me a high single target damage output and escapability for when times got a bit sketchy. Also, when playing the musket, always stay near the front line but not directly on the front line, because it's there where your damage is at its highest. You're close enough to get the big hits in, but you're not close enough to be interrupted. Anyway guys, that's the end of the musket video, but one last thing before you go. If you're looking for a house, just enter Noctum Invictus under the house list. It is case sensitive. Press search and we will pop up, at least if you're in the NA region and in Australia. We still have plenty of room, so join now while the going is good. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and thumbs up and all that shit, and I'll see you next time.